Hi, and welcome to Case Curiosity. I want to quickly mention that I haven't been posting because I've been sick. For private reasons, I also won't be able to upload very often, but I'll try my best when I can. This channel is a space where I look into real cases that raise questions and spark discussion. Today I'll be going over the Gypsy Rose case, focusing on available evidence and sharing my personal opinions. This isn't meant to state facts or official conclusions, just my perspective based on what's publicly known. The goal here is to encourage curiosity, critical thinking, and respectful conversation. With that said, let's get into the case. The first clip I want to show is of a woman explaining an alternative explanation to the shaved head narrative. She talks about how, instead of it being solely about faking cancer, Gypsy may have struggled with a stress-related hair pulling disorder, which could explain the shaving. She also points out similar behavior happening again more recently, such as wearing wigs. I'm sharing this clip as part of the discussion, not as confirmed fact, but because it adds another perspective that's worth considering.
You know how everybody said that Dee Dee shaved Gypsy's head to fake cancer? Well, what if that's not the whole story? For years, Gypsy, that's been the story that she's told everybody, that her mom shaved her head so they could convince people that she had cancer. But after coming across some information recently, I've started wondering if there's more to this whole hair situation, right? One that nobody's talking about because nobody's thought about. While Gypsy Rose was in prison, she wrote emails where she talked about cutting her hair when she got stressed out. Now that immediately made me think of trichotillomania. That is a stress-related condition where when people get stressed, they feel the need to pull or cut their hair. I mean, literally people go bald over this. People wear wigs over this. So add that in with Gypsy having microdeletion, and it went undiagnosed for years. One of the features of microdeletion can be slow growing hair, sparse hair, fine hair. So if you put like these pieces together, right? Naturally thin or slow growing hair, stress-induced hair cutting or pulling, and a child already being medically fragile, it makes me wonder if it's possible that Dee Dee kept Gypsy's head shaved because it was already thin, damaged, or Gypsy was cutting it when she was stressed, or maybe even pulling it. And here's another part that really makes me pause, right? Gypsy has been out of prison for 2 years. You would think her having very short hair or a shaved head and having to wear wigs would be pretty traumatic for her since it was a part of her childhood. So wouldn't growing her hair out be like healing for her? Instead, she got out of prison and she repeatedly cut it, dyed it, and now it is so short that she's back to wearing wigs again. Wouldn't wearing wigs be triggering for her as well? Because it was such a huge part of her childhood trauma? I mean, her mom's not here anymore. Dee Dee's been gone for 10 years. There's no one here forcing Gypsy to keep her hair short or wear wigs. Listen, I'm not saying Dee Dee was the best mom. I'm just asking, is it possible that the shaved head wasn't just about them faking cancer? Couldn't it have also been about managing, this hair issue that maybe Gypsy had? I mean, it's pretty strange that she's now, nearly bald again by choice and wearing wigs again by choice. I mean, this is a picture that she posted not too long ago, and this is, nobody's seen her without a wig in weeks, and then she posts this. So if it's this short, and we didn't see her for weeks, how short was it originally? I don't know, you guys. It's just something that piqued my curiosity when I started going over her medical records and her emails.
The next clip is from Gypsy Rose's former cellmate. The entire clip is disgusting, in my opinion. She talks about how Gypsy never cried over Dee Dee, only cried once about Nick. Mentions Gypsy saying she wanted to have sex with her attorney, and also says during the conversation that she thinks Gypsy is sick.
When I read the article, I was like, damn, she'll get away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She'll get out of this because of all the stuff that her mom did to her. Yeah, she is psychologically, mentally unstable.
Sure.
But she is so fucking smart.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. When you say smart, what's some good examples?
She's well aware of everything. She's
Sure.
well aware. She's even sat there and crossed her legs, and she goes, well, basic psychology, you know what I'm saying? It's whenever we were speaking about, you know, women with men who use us for our money, you know, people who are on checks and stuff. Sure. And, you know, she, you know, just basic psychology is this, and she like spit it out like it was
like nothing, huh?
Yes. Repeat what I heard. You know?
And, you know, and all, some of that may just be hearsay. But some of it.
Yeah, but she's sick, bro.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm just gonna tell you because it will. She told, it's embarrassing, but she told me she's been masturbating since she was 4 years old. Okay,
yeah,
she's fucking sex fiend the hell out. I mean, bad.
Right.
And the only thing she's just never gotten emotional about her mom. Not one time has she cried about her mom. She's cried one time and it's been over Nick, and that's it.
Like because he's in jail, arrested, or what?
Because she loves him.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Why aren't you crying about your mom, bro?
Exactly.
And it's either she talks about Nick or she just constantly talks about sex.
Right.
You know, I mean, even talking about Mike Stanfield, you know, our lawyer. Like, what the fuck, you know? I'm telling you. Sure. It's terrible.
We're all adults here, so that's fine.
I know, but it's kind of like...
But yeah, that's over excessive, I'm sure. So,
you think? Yeah. Like, get the fuck away from me, you know? The way she moves and all this other crap. Just, she's sick, man.
Yeah.
It's not right. And I think she's going to get away with it if we don't do something about it.
Okay.
Because of all the psychological shit. Because her mom did fuck her up. I'm going to say.
And I agree with you.
Her mom did fuck her up. Keeping her in a wheelchair from the age of she was 9.
Right. There's some circumstances there that they take into consideration.
Yeah.
You know, and we all do. Anybody out there that hears this story says the same thing you do. Yeah. I even say it half the time. I'm trying to go to sleep thinking about this and going, man, you know, I feel for her, but yet.
Right,
and that's we're all in the same boat.
Right, and that's exactly how I was too. And I was like, I feel for her, but then I started feeling bad for Nick because the whole meeting, you know what I'm saying? And a fucking Cinderella a live show, you're gonna have this dude show up and just be somebody showing up at a. Come on, you made him look like a straight creep pedophile motherfucking dude.
Yeah.
And then want to try to force your mom to like him.
Right.
And then he's got to sit there and listen to your mom talk shit to him because you're the liar.
Right.
And then he's got to, you know what I'm saying? He gets angered. Because he's being talked to like a kid, and like
right.
Yeah, like a kid, and see a man who's mentally, you know, doesn't like that type. You know.
The next clip is Gypsy's reaction to a video that was released. In it, she tries to put the blame on Nick, saying he said it, but the footage clearly shows Gypsy said it herself. There's no getting around that.
And the plan for if we have a boy first. We're going to protect him and protect our children from the outside world because they can't know about us. They can't know about you being a vampire. But we're going to protect them and keep them educated on what not to say in front of people and make sure that they understand the severity of keeping them a secret. And if we have a girl, the way it has to be is if we have a girl, she has to lose her virginity to you because you are the master of the household. So I'm going to have to explain that to her whenever she comes of age where it's time to explain it. Other than that, like when she's 7, I won't explain that. But around 13, I'll explain.
And then Nick told you at one point that if y'all ever had a daughter together, he would take your daughter's virginity at 13.
Correct. And I broke up with him after he said that. We had a huge argument after that. I broke up with him. I'm like, I'm done. I called him a bunch of names. I was like, I am never going to let you do that. So you just lost me. And then he basically talked me back by saying that I would never do that. That was my other personality, but I would never let him do that. So I got back together with him based on his promises.
And he had an alter ego, essentially, or the other personality. That was Victor?
He had
a few. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know, was Victor the evil twin?
Victor was the evil twin.
Yeah. Okay.
The next clip, in my opinion, is downright fucking disturbing. She introduces another personality, Ruby, who describes in graphic detail how she could kill.
To do anything with you, sir. That includes beating up someone. if a girl tries to become your girlfriend or a girlfriend to Nick as a whole, she's dead. I'm gonna fucking her with pleasure. Lots of blood. Lots of gore. Because I'm gonna get my nails dirty. I will literally cut them so they will be sharp. I will take a fingernail clipper and sharpen them up because I will scratch. That is my signature mark. I scratch. So I don't only kill with or beat up with punching. I beat up, I kick ass, and I scratch. That's my signature trademark. And if it's a girl that is trying to just get with me for sex, I might allow it, like I might not. It depends how receptive and how possessive I am of you at the time. So if she's just trying to get with you for sex, I will kill her because she might mess with your heart. Or I might let you have sex with her and then we kill her together. And like I said, no matter what, if she tries to get with you as a girlfriend, she's dead.
As you can see in that clip, the door is wide open and she's talking loud. Dee Dee would have had to hear her, so there's no way Dee Dee was as controlling as Gypsy claims. The next clip shows her basically telling on herself.
About to play an old clip of Gypsy Rose Blanchard from the FOIA footage. Now, this footage was obtained by Into the Weeds podcast, but clutch your pearls, this is a wild-ass ride.
Anyway, if you put the barcode this way down, facing towards the floor, and go through the detectors, it won't go off. If it's this way, or this way, it will go off. But if it's facing down, that means the scanners won't detect it. That's just one tip. But a lot of these things that are for sealing requires a two-person job. And so take, for example, at Sam's Club. They have these huge buggies. So say if I was to get inside the buggy and you push the buggy and just make up a story like I'm your handicapped sister or whatever, and you just put me in the buggy because I'm small for my age. So I could easily look 12 or 13 to make it easier. And so here we are going down the aisles, and I always like to have something put on top of me, something big like a pillow or something so the cameras won't catch what I'm doing. And I'll probably have a dress or something on. And I just take like movies, DVDs, and I just slip them under my dress. And we might buy like a soda or just some cheap item to say we bought something. And then we just, and there we go. Got a bunch of DVDs. Let's see, what else? I also promised you, I made a deal with you that I would get you money. And I will stay true to that deal. There are plenty of ways to make money. I could go as far as even to go to a bar and, a guy might ask, hey, you want to with me and I'll give you money for it? And I might say, sure, yeah. And go with him and then maybe him or whack him over the head with a bottle, take his wallet. But we have to play it smart.
Okay, pause right there. What you just watched was old footage obtained by the FOIA, which is the Freedom of Information Act. This is not new. This is not AI, and this was not taken out of context. This is actually archivable information that she herself recorded, in her own words, where she explains strategies involving theft, deception, and violence. And I'm not adding commentary to that clip itself, because honestly, it speaks for itself, and I don't encourage that behavior. But what matters here is the timeline. Because years later, we're told a very different story, a softer story, a rebranded story. But when you go back to the public records, you start to see the patterns, not the moments. And this isn't about cancel culture. It's about context. When somebody tells you who they are, especially on camera, it's worth listening, especially when those statements directly contradict later perspectives and narratives. I am posting this for awareness and discussion only, not endorsement, not speculation, just receipts. Watch closely, remember it, and keep that clip in your mind when you hear a different version of the story that came after. Because she says her mom made her do all this. She's on camera, making it very clear she does this. She's not new to this, she's true to this. Again, I don't condone this behavior.
The next clip shows Gypsy telling Nick how she lied to her mom about being able to walk.
Hi, my love. I wanted to show you something special, something that I haven't showed you before. Mainly because I was scared to and I didn't really know how to. So, anyway, this is what I want to show you.
Oh, wait. We're good. Sorry. I checked, but...
But I don't think it's the dress that you're probably excited about right now. Finally nice to show you after all this time. I'm sorry to keep it a secret from you for so long, but it's not just you that I'm keeping it a secret from. It's sort of like everybody who knows me. I don't even know how I got started. When I was 6 years old, I went into the hospital for like 6 months, and the doctors told me that I had a seizure in surgery, and I wouldn't be able to walk, that I was paralyzed permanently. And that part, like the part that I had a seizure, was true. In surgery, I had the seizure and I was paralyzed, but what they didn't know is that it was temporary paralysis and not permanent. And by the time I started to get my feeling back in my legs, and I hadn't tried to walk then, but I was too young and I just kept it to myself. And throughout the years, I tried to tell my mom a few times, and I guess I was just afraid of her not loving me as much as she does if I couldn't walk. You know, I didn't want to make her sad or lose any love from her. I guess that's the reason why I kept it a secret from her. And so I just kept it to myself for a long time until 2011, whenever I sort of started rebelling as a teenager and ran away from home, literally ran away from home, stumbled. Before I ran away, I started trying to walk as much as I could. And I just got enough strength to be able to leave home. Unfortunately, it was to the wrong person. And so Mom's kind of in denial in a way. I don't really know, because I guess it would be too hard to explain to all our friends and everything. And one thing I never want to go is like a liar. And believe me, I would like for people to know the truth, but being as it is, I would lose a lot of friends, I think. And I just don't want anybody to hate me. And they would. And so you're the only person that knows besides me and that one other guy, which he's not in my life anymore, so, and we're not even friends anymore, so he doesn't. So right now, you're the only person that knows. It feels great. It feels really, really nice to just have somebody that accepts me, and you accepted me even when you thought that I was in a wheelchair and living my life in a wheelchair. I have to tell everybody that I am. And anyway, it's difficult, but it's freeing and wonderful just to you can accept me, and that's really all I care about, is what you see and how you see me and how you feel about me. So I apologize so much for taking so long to tell you. I didn't know how to. So I'm so sorry. And I promise you I have no other secrets. I think I've told you everything about myself. And that's the truth, because you know everything about me. You know me physically, emotionally, every which way. So now we can just sort of start fresh on a new page with absolutely no secrets between us. I know you've always been completely honest with me, which I very much appreciate that. It just took me some time to get out a few secrets that were very big skeletons in my closet. So thank you so much for always loving me and adoring me and worshiping me. And I just want you to know that I love and adore and worship you too. My dearest Kim Char.
As you can see, the door is wide open again, so anyone nearby could have heard her. The next clip is Gypsy Rose's reaction to the leaked footage.
Gypsy Rose is now responding online after the backlash she's been receiving from the multiple videos that were coming out from her. If you don't know anything that's been happening, a FOIA request was requested for videos that Gypsy had made, and the Into the Weeds podcast had posted them onto their YouTube channel. In these videos, you can see Gypsy talking about her stealing, how she can fake illnesses to get away with stealing, and she even stated that her 13-year-old daughter would have to lose her V card to Nicholas. Mind you, in this podcast clip, she had said that that wasn't true and that she had left Nicholas after she said that, but she has now responded to these videos, so let's take a look at what she has to say. She says, "I'm not proud of those videos. They were recorded during a period of extreme trauma, coercive control, and emotional dependency. People in these dynamics often say and do things that don't reflect who they truly are. I am not the same person today. I've received treatment, therapy, and have done years of healing work. If you or someone you love is in a controlling or abusive relationship, help is available. You deserve safety and support." And honestly, I'm not even shocked that she's not taking accountability for this. Like, girl, you lied. You said that you left Nicholas for saying that, and you didn't go back to him until he said that he was not gonna do that. But yet here you are, making a video, talking about it, and being on the same page as him about it, saying that's what you have to do. So no, girl, you don't get to play the victim card. You are not the victim in this situation. You're a disgusting individual, and honestly, you shouldn't even have your daughter with you.
The next clip shows Dee Dee dancing on vacation with no signs of abuse.
This is a home video that Gypsy Rose Blanchard took herself of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, dancing in a hotel while they were on vacation. Does this look like a monster to you? Do you think Gypsy was scared of this woman? Or is this an adorable mom who loves her daughter and is trying to make her laugh? Because I see the later, not the former. Dee Dee is adorable, and what happened to her is absolutely disgusting. Gypsy, please, I know you already went to prison, but take accountability for what you did. Stop villainizing your mom every chance you get. Look at how adorable she is. I know this is a video where I can't see everything that happened, but from all reports, you lied, and your mom was a sweet woman who was sick.
This last clip shows the police already standing there while Gypsy is confronting her ex-husband Ryan as he's throwing out boxes of her pictures. I really wonder why those pictures were so important. She needed them so badly.
He's probably not in bed. How you doing? Hey, you're gonna work on that trip with lawyers, don't you remember? Why don't you call the cops?
It's just for everything's I just want to get my pictures.
Okay, I'll get you the pictures. I don't want to run though.
You know I got more stuff. Isn't my stuff that's in my closet?
No, it's the pictures.
No, you have no right to get this.
You get everything else through your lawyer.
That's all the clips I wanted to cover for now. Honestly, in my opinion, a lot of what's been shown here is disturbing and raises more questions than answers. I'm not trying to claim I know everything about this case. These are just my observations and reactions based on the footage I've gone through. If you found this interesting or have your own thoughts, feel free to leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll try to post more when I can.